Hello and welcome to Vermont Interfaith Action's Conversations with Candidates 2020 General Election Edition. VIA is a faith-based grassroots community organizing project made up of 64 member and affiliated congregations throughout the state. We work together as a coalition, including the Protestant, Catholic, Jewish, Unitarian Universalist, Buddhist, and Muslim traditions. Our goal is to effect systemic change around issues that are identified at the grassroots level, issues that affect the families and individuals who attend our congregations and whom we reach out to in our communities. In years past, VIA has hosted events across the state in order to hear from candidates about the issues VIA leaders and clergy are concerned about. This year, we have invited the gubernatorial candidates to fill out a questionnaire and join us for a 20-minute conversation about their answers. Today, I am joined by Mike Devost of Newport, Vermont. Mike, welcome.
Thank you. And how's it going?
Great. Let's get right started into the first question. The news has been filled with incidents of unarmed Black men and women being shot by police and the subsequent rallies and protests held all over the country in reaction. What would you do to address the systemic racism that permeates so many of our institutions, from law enforcement to housing to healthcare to unemployment to education and beyond?
That's a good question. Well, one thing I would want to do is I would really want to take a look at the current policies and stuff and see what I can and can't do to change. But I really would want to change something because I really feel like there shouldn't be any racism at all. And it's unfortunate it happens. But by looking at these policies, I would want to see like what's very old that could be changed to something more modern, to make everyone feel included, not just certain race of groups. So I guess that would be my like really best thing to do, is because until I see what's out there, I hate, because I'm a factual person. I like to know knowledge before I make a decision on anything. So that's where I'd stand on that.
Great, thank you for your response. Another big concern during this time is in regards to housing. All across the state, housing is unaffordable for many Vermonters. As people of faith, we believe housing is a basic necessity. What would you do to create more affordable housing and prevent homelessness in our state?
That's good. Well, I would want to try to make the cost of living kind of equal with modern day pay, because I know what it's like to have an unaffordable house, unfortunately. So I would want to try to get the cost of living either down or like minimum wage to come up so people can afford their homes and actually be there. And then as to like the homeless, there's a lot of like old buildings or barns that maybe the government could step in and like buy from the local farmers and like revamp to like shelters or some kind of housing for the people that could use it. So I think that would be something to look into. And yeah, pretty much we got to really get taxes down. We got to get living up, because it's like cost of living's here and we're like down here. It's so hard to afford anything, really.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was also wondering if you can share with us your thoughts about wages in Vermont and what people need to thrive in our state. How would you work to improve the situation for families?
Yeah, wages, like I was starting to say, it's very low. Like minimum wage right now is $10.96 an hour, and not many people can unfortunately live off that one paycheck. You either have to get another job, whether it's full-time, part-time, or you're going to have to change your claim so your check's bigger, but then your tax break you're paying in, And I don't think people should be doing that. I think minimum wage should be roughly, if not $15, should be around 14. And there's definitely a lot of taxes that we could look into to try to lower a little bit too, because from stuff I've read all over the internet from studies and other things, Vermont is like one of the highest to like live in, for cost of living. That's why they, like a lot of the retired people, they go to Florida and stuff. So I definitely think wages need to be up. I think we need to change some of the old policies like the Fire at Will Act, because people shouldn't just go to work and because their boss is having a bad day get fired. You should have probable reasons why. And look at some of the taxes. Like a good tax that we could probably get rid of is the soda tax. We don't really need like a soda tax. You want people to be healthy. I understand that, but you want to introduce more healthy activities, more healthy things in Vermont, not just have a tax. So I think if we revamp our tax systems, some of our old policies, and increase minimum wage, I think we would definitely see a lot more people be affordable to live in Vermont.
Thanks. Our final question for you is around our corrections department. There seems to be consensus among administrators and legislators that there is a culture of negligence and abuse of power manifested in sexual encounters embedded in our correctional facilities and among corrections officers. What would you do as governor to radically transform the corrections culture so that all are treated with respect and dignity as our faith traditions call for?
That's a good question. Well, first thing is I would want to investigate like as soon as it happens, I'd want to get right on it, because I don't tolerate anything to do with like sexual crimes or anything like that with correctionals or inmates or vice versa. I think everyone should be treated equally and fair. That's always been my motto. And to do that, you have to look at both parties. You have to sit there and really, look into the investigation. Is this person doing this because they're making up a story, or is it a real thing? And then break it all down. And during that time, you keep both individuals separated from the facility so it doesn't occur. And you don't go around trying to make it public for everybody. You kind of keep it under wraps till you can figure out what's going on. Because by exposing people, you can make them feel, like uncomfortable and stuff like that, and maybe something small that you guys can, like the corrections office could fix, it could blow into something way bigger. You want to get it at its core. You want to look at all the evidence and then do it that way, and make each officer or whoever's found guilty accountable, and give them the reasonable guidelines of how you're going to take care of that, because you get, like I said, you got to look at it as a whole. You can just look at it as this one saying something, let's believe this one. So I would like to have better policies for corrections facilities. I would want the police officers, or the correction officers, I should say, be accountable for any actions that are not what they're doing, and no one, I believe, should overstep their power. And if they do, then they do not belong in the field.
Thank you, Mike. Are there any other thoughts that you'd like to share with the potential voters who are watching today?
Yeah, I just want everybody to know that, your voice does matter. So you should go out and vote. And I just wanted to run because me personally, I'm a small working Vermonter, just like the next person. And I was just tired of misinformation and lies and stuff. And I think we need someone that's going to actually help Vermonters go into the future and be more modern and have better knowledge of things in practice than what we've been used to. So that's what I'd like to say to everybody. Just go out and vote.
Thanks for that message, Mike, and for taking time to talk with us today. We wish you all the best in your campaign efforts. And to our folks who are, and to our folks who are watching and listening, Election Day is on Tuesday, November 3rd. All polling locations across the state close at 7 p.m. If you plan to vote in person, please do so safely with a mask and hand sanitizer. If you plan to vote by mail and you have not received a mail-in ballot, please reach out to your local town clerk's office to request one. Don't forget to mail your ballot by Friday, October 23rd, to ensure that it makes it to the town clerk's office in time. And thank you for joining us today.